Okay. And look
Right.
who had bobbing today in 2025.
Right. It's a new year. It's a
It
new year.
is a new year. Welcome everybody to 2025. Whoop,
Yes.
whoop.
I'm
Happy New
so
Year.
excited. All right. Happy New Year. We on the 15th, but it's still a new year and we haven't been here with you guys. So we still want to just say, hey, welcome into 2025.
Oh man,
So,
I don't have my confetti.
oh,
I'll
so,
bring it next week.
right.
Because we'll still be celebrating.
Yes.
First of all, we're going to celebrate that we made it past Quitters Day. Have you heard about that?
No, what's Quitters Day?
Okay, so you haven't heard? Yeah, so they
Uh-uh.
say that I guess it's a thing now. They say that every year, most people that make New Year's resolutions, that they quit by the second Friday in January.
Oh, okay.
So now they start calling the second Friday in January Quitters Day.
Quitters Day.
So, yep. So today is this is the third, no, this is the second Wednesday, right?
Oh, look, don't
Look,
give
I'm
me
looking at the calendar figured out.
right.
But
This
I
no,
should
this
know it
the
by
third
math, to be
Wednesday.
honest, because it would make sense. Today, the 15th, that means 7 days. We've had 7 days twice. Okay, so yes, today is the third Wednesday, and
Right.
the second Friday was the 10th.
Well, that's the 10th. Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So
So
yeah. So every
congratulations, Dion. You have officially made it past Quitters Day.
yeah. I don't know. So, there was a Instagram post, and so there was like a cat, and it was squirming off the cat off its bedding, and it
Okay.
was the post was something like the first 2 weeks of January was rough, and sometimes it does feel a little rough, but hey, that's why we're here to talk about the market
Yep.
so we can understand what's happening out here. There's a lot of changes happening, and we're ready. We're ready no matter what.
That's right. Absolutely. And that's what we want to keep in mind as we do begin to talk about the market today. But before we do that, who do I have the pleasure of being next to on this fine Wednesday evening?
Well, my name is Dione Branch, and I am with Allure Dream Homes, and we are brokered by EXP Realty.
And she wearing that hair today, ain't she, y'all?
Thank you.
And I'm Lisa J. White, the house money mama. I'm with Nexa Mortgage, which is a broker where brokers are better. Yay! And we have all the options for you guys for your home buying and investing pursuits. So
Yeah.
we're going to talk about some stuff today.
Right. And if you're out there, just say hello in the chat. Let us know where you're from, and we'd love to just say hi back to you. So,
Yes.
all
So
right.
since we're coming in for, the first thing, it's a lot of things I'm pretty sure people are thinking about. One of the things that I've been hearing, probably more so than anything, is people are real nervous about the change in administration, because we just passed an election year and
Yeah.
now we have a new president and people are scared. Some
Yeah.
people are actually scared. They have no idea what that's gonna look like, how things may impact, policy changes and things like that.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, we really don't know.
Yeah.
But to be even more honest than that, even if it wasn't Trump who was president, we still really don't know because politicians are just this, they seem to be designed that way. A lot of times they say one thing and do another
And do
anyways.
another. One thing that I try to stay positive about is Trump is about real estate.
He
Like
is. He
he's
is. Yep.
definitely about real estate. And so my hopes are that he stays that way. And so then
Mhm.
at least we'll see a difference in the market as far as real estate is concerned with interest rates and a lot of people were like they didn't want to sell their home until after election, until after Trump was in. So
Mhm.
we'll touch a little bit about how houses, number of houses that are on the market. So some of those things may actually change. And you know, he's he, he's Trump, but we also have to we have to live we have to live our lives, and we have to continue on. And so I would say that would be our best bet.
Yeah, I would be fully 150% in agreement with you. So,
Mm.
and when I really look at, because I gave some thought to what we would talk about, and a lot of thought to just how the past year, and I would say probably the past few years, have gone within the real estate market. And from the standpoint of a professional, from the standpoint of someone who sees people's credit all the time, who's having those conversations about purchasing, who's having follow-up conversations now in regards to being able to invest like they've already purchased. Now, we have a few people that have come back and say, I appreciate you helping me buy my first home, but now I'm thinking about a rental property. I want to
Right.
invest in real estate now because I see that as being an option for a source of income for me. The biggest obstacle that I really see in any of those situations is self-imposed limitations.
Mm-hmm. True. Yeah. Yeah.
Self-imposed limitations is probably the biggest obstacle that I see with people being able to achieve their home ownership goals for the first time, or being able to delve into investing and providing a home for someone else, as a rental. The it's what it's what you have in your mind about what you're able to do,
To do.
because a
Yeah.
lot of times people that are successful in real estate, they don't pay attention to the market.
Mm-hmm. I would say I've talked to people who've called me and or expressed some interest, but said, "Oh, but I can't do this right now because of my credit score." Like they have a reason.
Mhm.
And so then lately I've been like, "Well, have you had a conversation with a lender? Have you had a conversation with someone
Mhm.
like me as a realtor that will can actually demythify, right, some of these myths and things that are out there, some of your
Mhm.
beliefs, because you know it's harder to buy a home with lower credit, but it's still possible.
Right, exactly. That's what I was gonna say, but it's not impossible. Yep.
Right. And so, and I've talked to people that say, well, I'm really trying to fix my credit. And I'll go, well, how's your credit? Is it over a 600? That's normally my typical question, right?
Okay.
And they'll say, well, it's a 700. Girl, you've been ready. Right.
Right.
Right. And they're saying, well, I want to improve it. Well, that's not, my thing is if you have a
The
700, you
last
have
the
a,
last 40 points is really not gonna make that much of a difference to people.
right. Exactly, right. So it's not good, it's no different. So I would always say talk to somebody, like you're saying, like talk to people, because you are limiting yourself,
Yep.
because we have a lot of different programs that we offer, credit repair,
Mhm.
advice, things like
Yep.
that can help you as far as being able to um, increase your score in order to purchase that,
Right.
right. And then Lisa, there's grants, right? There's a lot of grant programs, things like that too, that can help you when you don't have your money, your down payment money.
Yeah. Yeah, down payment, you can get some kind of assistance. I was actually just looking earlier today at some kind of new thing. I have to get more information about it, so I don't want to say too much right now. But there's some new add-on to some of our loans where we can help people with $5,000 at closing. And I don't think it's specific to you being a first time buyer. I think it's just as long as you're going to live in the house that you plan to buy, you can qualify for it.
Hmm.
So there's always something. Now that though, just to be clear, because I don't
Right,
want people putting stuff together the wrong way. But for something like that, you do have to credit qualify.
right.
When it comes time to people giving you money or providing money for you at closing, then do expect that you have to have your credit in order for something like that. But if you have the money and you don't have the credit in order, I can still do an FHA loan at 580, provided the numbers make sense. I've done them. I've done credit, people who are credit challenged to the point where they are in a bankruptcy and they have bought a house through me. So we don't have we don't have the same limitations on us as you think we do.
Yeah. Right.
So it's always good, who's that? A girlfriend of mine, Beverly, she would always say, "You don't know what you don't know." I'm like, that's true. You don't know what you don't know.
Right.
You don't know. So the only way for you to find out is you have to talk to somebody who does know. Talk to
Mm.
somebody who is constantly in the trenches, day in, day out. This is second nature to both of us because this is what we do all the time. We out in them streets. We live in this thing.
Right.
So that's the only way you'll find out. You really have to talk to somebody who has an idea of what you're actually able to do. That you can do that by a one-to-one consultation, going onto the site, filling out the application, and then saying, "Hey, these are my plans," and we work together as your team to help you
Hmm.
put together that plan.
Yeah.
So don't limit yourself. I guess that's what we really saying in this
Right.
tirade.
Right. And
Don't limit
maybe,
yourself,
and
and don't
right.
limit us. Don't limit
Yeah.
us. 'Cause
And maybe right. That's how it sounds like a good motto for 2025, right? Don't limit yourself.
don't limit yourself. That's right. I
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah. So
Limitless. We taking the limits off. We're going to transform into a limitless being. I like that.
yeah.
So I do want to, because I wanted to kind of address some of the things that I know are really on people's minds. So this is what we get all the time. You kind of hit on it a little bit. Interest rates.
Hmm.
So from my perspective in the industry, um, we have a lot of people right now because we don't really know what policy changes will be made and things like that, and the numbers that we're seeing as far as inflation and stuff. They're looking at all of that and saying, I'm not sure what we're going to do, but it seems like the consensus is that there will be a decrease, a further decrease in interest rates. Now, I want to stress this because I really don't think I can stress this enough. Don't expect rates to go into the threes or the
Yeah.
twos or anything like that. Those when we said those
That,
rates were historically low, that meant it's probably the only time in
yeah.
history
Yeah.
that,
Right.
you,
That was
that you're going to
those
see
were
them that
COVID
low.
rates. Right. Those were COVID rates. That is over. We will not see that again. And
Right,
to be honest with you, a lot of people that when they talk about waiting for the interest rates to lower, I mean, like this is a normal rate.
right.
This was before COVID. This was around what the rates were.
Yep,
So um, I'm not sure what you're waiting for, right?
right.
You're gonna keep waiting, and what's happening is that the house prices are going up because
Yes.
and so now it's gonna cost you even more
It
money.
will cost,
So
yeah. In the long run, it definitely will. And so this is not my saying, I didn't coin this, but I really like it. The saying is marry the house and date the rate.
hmm.
Because the amount that you pay for the house, the sales price, that is something that it's a one time and that's you negotiated at that time and that's it. The interest rate, we can play with that. You may have one interest rate when we first close on your house, but then, like say for example, a year in, like I just had a couple of people that I refinanced just because of the fact the rates are lower, last year than what they were the previous year when I helped them first buy the house. I'm like, girl, we about to save you like $150 on
Yeah.
your monthly mortgage. Let's do this thing. You know what I mean? Because it
Hmm.
makes sense. Her house payment, her house, her sales price did not change and have an impact on that. So that's a one-time thing,
Right, right.
but you have the ability to make that payment on that house different by changing the interest rate.
Not changing.
Yep.
So
So you marry the house, but you date the rate. We can make adjustments to rates. We have buy down programs. I had a couple people that elected to do that, a 2-1 buy down. So that means that their interest rate was 2% lower the first year, 1% lower the second year, and then to the regular rate on the third year. So before we get to year three, guess what we do? We refinance.
Refinance. Yeah.
Yep. So now the interest rate will be something that will be permanently, unless you refi again, of course, it would be permanently that fixed rate. That's what it'll be. And that'll take you through, the remainder of the mortgage. So, but people have to, sometimes we get so caught up in these numbers. And I'm a numbers girl, so don't get me wrong. I think numbers are extremely important and they don't lie. They tell the truth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you also have to know how to evaluate, analyze, and look at numbers so that you make them make the most sense and benefit you in the best way possible.
Okay.
So interest rates, we do expect that in this year in 2025 that we'll see a couple more decreases in
Yeah.
interest rate. Yeah.
So just like Lisa said, marry the house, date the rate.
Yeah.
Don't wait for everyone else, because as soon as the rate does go down, everyone is going to come out
And housing prices are gonna go.
and the housing prices are going to go up. And so
Yeah.
that's what one of the things that I wanted to talk about was inventory, right?
Okay.
So over the last year, like I said, a lot of people were saying, well, we're going to wait till after the election in order to sell their home.
Mm-hmm.
So the inventory was not great last year. So there were lots of buyers, but
Mm-hmm.
there were not a lot of homes. And so a lot of times, people, so I'm kind of talking about two things, the season as well, right? So people kind of think like during the winter time, I shouldn't buy a house. I should wait until the spring. Well,
Mm-hmm.
that's when everybody else is waiting. And so that's where the serious buyers are out during this time. And
Right.
so if you're thinking of selling your home, this is a good time to actually sell your home because there's nothing but
Because you'll
serious
get the
buyers.
serious buyers coming by to look at it. Right.
Right.
Yep.
And so now as a buyer, you if you decide that you're going to wait, you while you're waiting, the prices of homes are constantly increasing. I remember starting real estate, and I could find a home for like 185, a nice single family home.
Mm-hmm.
Since COVID and over the demand and the
Yep.
inventory was low, so the price has gone up higher. So that
Yeah.
185 house really doesn't exist. So
Yeah.
like it used to. So I
Not
would
a nice
say
home.
not at all.
185 won't even get you a Barbie dream house.
Exactly, not at all. Not at all. So I would suggest if you're interested in purchasing and to contact us now because there's less people out there. There are lots of homes that are available right now for sale, and so this is a good time for you to actually purchase a home right now. And if you're thinking of selling your home, this is again a good time to sell your home as well because when you're out, you want serious buyers.
Yeah.
Oh, um, let's see.
Um, so what do you think as far as like year over year, how the market is looking? Do you have any kind of inclination? I'm talking local stuff now, like
Hmm.
here in Crook County. Um, what do you think as far as like, have you already begun to see those increases in pricing, the sales prices, or what do
Well,
you think? Like, let's just say year over year. So
yeah.
from
I mean,
23 to 24.
yeah. So over the years, I mean, we definitely seen the increase of the price of the homes
Okay.
because because what's happened is there were you have a house and you have more buyers out there, and so people are bidding higher on the home. And so when we're doing a market analysis to determine what the price of the house should be,
Hmm.
I'm typically looking at the houses that have sold within the last 3 to 6 months. And
Okay.
so that is what makes the price of homes go up higher, because the last three homes have sold over 20,000, than what the normal price was. And
Mm.
so now you have an increase of the price of homes. Um, so this has happened over the last 2 years, 2 or 3 years. And so that's why we definitely have this this increase of. And so where a home which is kind of needs some work, which we kind of call like maybe an investor home, the
Hmm.
investor homes prices have increased. And so then when they rehab a home, of course, they have to get the return on their home, the value of their home as well. So that
Yes.
increase. There's so many different factors that are increasing the price of homes. And so now, as a homeowner, so let's say you're a homeowner, the good part is that you know that your equity in your home has increased, right? And
Yeah.
so that's a good thing for the existing homeowners. But for the buyers, you have to know that, okay, well, as a buyer, I may have to have more money, right, in order for my down payment and to be able to qualify for more.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So I've definitely seen it happening over the years. And um if we have more homes coming into 2025, I think it won't continue to increase. It'll kind of even out.
Okay.
So that would definitely be a good thing for the market. So
Yeah. We'll have to be on the lookout for that one and see how that goes.
yeah, yes, yes. I've been doing my part. If as a listing agent, I've been trying to bring more homes onto the market. So, if you do have a house that you're interested in selling, this is definitely a great time to do it. And there's definitely a lot of other homes that are out here available for you to purchase as well. So,
And another thing I wanted to bring up to people too is that as we're talking about is 25 year a year. So something
hmm
to keep in mind, I think, which has been pretty good, is that we have seen credits come back, because for a while sellers have really pulled away from, and even with the NAR legislation and stuff that took place, the settlement, um,
hmm
we still have sellers that are crediting in our market. I can't speak, for California. I'm not licensed in California right now, but here in Illinois, we definitely still have, sellers that are they're comfortable with giving credits at closing and things like that. And that's kind of more what a buyer's market is like. It helps to
yeah,
have people that are willing to help you with, because a lot of times that is the big barrier.
hmm
Of course, outside of the self-imposed limits, that's the
yeah,
biggest one. But underneath that, I would say that one of the things that can be a potential issue is that people don't, they can afford the monthly payment. They make enough to sustain themselves. They'll be okay when they get into the mortgage, but it's a lot of times that's a large lump sum of money that you have to come up with in order to absorb all of the closing costs, the prepays, the lender fees, the title fees, all the different costs that are affiliated with the mortgage. So that's why, and of course the down payment itself, because that's
yeah,
a requirement. So for things like that, excuse me, you have to be prepared for that. But it is helpful that we're now in a market where the sellers are like, okay, I'm selling the house at this amount, but I'm willing to give, a $5,000, a
hmm
$7,500, or $10,000 closing credit to help the buyer, as they move into their home.
right. And then also now, the seller also, before it was included in the listing agent, there was the co-agent fee. So
Yeah.
not only is the seller helping with your closing costs, but I am still also seeing them assist with the co-agent commission
Yep.
as well.
Yep.
And so in 2025, it was effective of August last in 2024.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, as you're coming on the market, and maybe while you're thinking about purchasing, and maybe you had purchased before, or someone has shared with you, oh no, the seller covers that. It's no longer assumed that the
Right.
seller will cover the
Yeah.
buyer's agent commission.
Yep.
So that's definitely something that I still have not, they have, sellers have been willing to cover, but that's an additional expense. While we're talking about expenses that you have as a buyer, that's an
Yeah.
additional expense that you could have and that you should be prepared for.
Yeah. And so these are all things that when we consult with you and we have our team meeting and get on the Zoom call, things like that, we go over all of this stuff with you. So, and
Mhm.
we'll repeat it. So we may be a little redundant, but redundancy in our field is actually good for you.
Right.
Because giving you that, given how much information it is, to take in. This is a huge transaction for pretty much, I think, everybody that I know. I think this, unless they are some kind of a tycoon that's going to do a big business acquisition, this is the biggest transaction, biggest financial transaction of your life. And so you don't want to take it lightly. You do want to know and understand and prepare. We always harp on being prepared. Preparation is so important. You have to prepare. You have to listen in. You have to tune in to our YouTube, on Wednesdays,
Right.
and figure out what it is that you need to do. And more importantly, you need to take action. Because if we just sit around and think about it and say, yeah, I'm gonna do it, but then you don't ever do it, then you don't realize your goals. And in 25, they say we're gonna thrive and we're gonna reach goals, and
Hmm.
we're doing all of that. So in order to do that, we have to have the right mindset and be ready to take action.
Right. And if you want to have a planning meeting with Lisa and I, you can always schedule on our calendar where
You got
you
a
can,
calendar?
yes, we do. You can schedule a meeting with us, and we can definitely um, take the time to have a meeting with you and make a plan for this year for you to bring to either sell your home or buy a new home or both.
Yep. Y'all see that we're fancy now. We are fancy.
Yeah, so book, definitely take time book with us. So.
Well, it's 6:29 already. This time actually went by really, really fast today. I almost feel like we should have a part two. Um,
Well,
but
next
I don't
week
know
we.
about you. I'm thoroughly looking forward to 2025 and how many more people that we're going to help. I think that probably we should think about it. And next week, let's make a commitment to how many families we would like to help in the year 2025.
Yeah.
Let's make some really big goals for 2025.
Yes, yes. I'm all for it. And we want you to be one of those families. So just let us know. So if you'd like to, although you can book with us, you can also give us a call. You could
The
call
old
me
fashioned.
at 819-6092. That's my cell phone number. And you can also call Lisa White.
630-977-6150. That's my phone number.
Right. And we're always here for you. So we want to just take a moment and say thank you, thank you, thank you for joining us. We're excited
Yes.
to come here every week. We had to take a little break. It was the holiday, right? So we're back, and we're excited to be here each week for you. And so you have any questions, anything you want us to talk about, shoot us a message and we can definitely have that conversation as well.
All right. See you
Uh,
guys next Wednesday.
Bye.
My hand's going off.